I'd like to acknowledge that today we're recording on the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Sovereignty was never ceded. You're listening to Unqualified and Unafraid, the podcast where I interview young emerging creatives in Adelaide about just going for it and pushing through self-doubt. Imara is a creative who has, in the last couple of years, launched her own brand, Adamo, a sustainable tote bag brand who brings convenience and ethics to the forefront. I'm super excited to chat to Imara about what went into launching her own brand and what it is that drove her to want to do it. Imara, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, happy to be here.
Awesome. I just want to ask you the first question. When was a time where you felt unqualified but you chose to be unafraid?
Definitely when I was initially starting my business, because I didn't know anything, because I came from a law background and I did arts as well, but I had no idea what it was going to be like to run a business and use like platforms like Shopify, and I felt completely unqualified. But there's so many resources online that I sort of tapped into. But just in general, like, it's not just like knowing the logistics of it, but also like, sounds kind of cringy, but also like believing in yourself is like a lot of it, because there's a lot more people doing things out there that aren't as qualified as you, but they have the confidence. That's why they're doing it. Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's so true. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us like stop ourselves from doing things because we're like, we're not the best.
Yeah.
But if you think about all the people who they might be the best, but like they're not doing it, so it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter. It's just like a mental thing. Like,
Yeah.
there's people who are way more underqualified than you doing things that like you might not even dream of doing.
Totally.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about yourself. How old are you, and like what are your main mediums?
I'm 21, just turned 21. I'm doing history and English at uni, so I'm doing a minor in history, a major in English. I would probably say writing. Outside of Adamo, I really like just like writing, and it came from like journaling, but mainly writing like poetry and like short stories. It's like where I sort of feel pretty good, and yeah, it's a really good outlet, because for the longest time when I was writing, it was definitely for someone else. Recently it's been like, I'm sort of just, I want to do things badly because it doesn't matter. Yeah, it takes the pressure off to like have the goal of I'm going to do this badly. But yeah, doing history and English in uni is good because it's like completely separate to sort of what my main thing is, which I love.
Yeah, so Adamo is your brand.
Yes.
Tell us about it. What do you make?
I make sustainable tote bags with pockets. And yeah, it started in July of last year, so almost been a year now. And yeah, there's like a website, they sell in store at Flat Shop.
What kind of attracted you to making totes, and like what makes your bag different from other totes in the market?
I initially started it because I just couldn't find any tote bags with pockets that were like under 120, and like just going into fast fashion as well, like making something quality is really important, so you don't have to keep buying it over and over again, because even if you buy something that's $20, you'll have to like maybe buy it again in a year, so like the cost of it is like much greater overall than if you buy something that's quality.
Definitely.
So that was sort of what I had in mind going into it, and being like, I want a bag that has pockets as quality, because I use a tote bag every day. I just hate backpacks. They ruin my outfit. They don't hurt my shoulders.
They're a bit schoolgirl vibe.
Yeah, I just felt like a child when I wore a backpack, but I also still wear backpacks all the time, but just for like uni, or if I was going somewhere after, I just was like, yeah, I sort of needed a tote bag. But it's definitely in the realm of slow fashion is what I would call it. And sort of just did some research on what it would take to get one made, and then I sort of went into suppliers, and I was like, oh, maybe I can just like sell some.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because I feel like tote bags are one of those things where you often just like get given really shitty ones for free, and then that's just what people use. But they use them every day. Like, you'd think it would be something that we'd want to invest in.
Exactly. Yeah. And accessibility is a big one too, because like I guess everyone has tote bags, like you were saying, you know, people get them for free. But to get something quality, like for the market to be, like, I think most tote bags are like 120 to like 200, like the big canvas ones with the pockets.
Right.
Similar to sort of what Crumpler are doing with their bags. Like that's about like 150, which is like, you know, you get what you pay for, but it's not accessible. And I think for me, I really struggled in the market with, you know, being a student and wanting to invest in quality pieces, but they were always so expensive. So yeah, I think that was something that I had in mind going into it, was making it like an affordable cost. But it's like a really fine line because, you know, it's sustainably made, the workers get paid like above minimum wage. So that's like, I have to make profit as well. So it's like, I had it at $60 at one point, and now it's up to $85. But yeah, there's like a lot to it that I didn't consider. But yeah.
But I think that's great. It sounds like you've like really thought about like what kind of business you want to be and everything like that. Yeah.
For sure.
The next section is going to be rapid fire questions.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah. Buckle yourself in. Are you ready for it?
What if I say something? Okay, don't worry.
Best and worst thing about Adelaide?
So small. The best thing that it is small as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A double-edged sword. Where are we most likely to run into you?
Probably the pub. Yeah.
Which pub?
Exeter. Yeah, probably there.
Do you have something to prove?
Yeah, of course.
Shout out another Adelaide creative who you admire.
Bella from Stuff by Glad has like another bag. Business, makes like handmade leather goods. They're so talented and lovely. It was really funny. I met them at a music festival through like a mutual friend, and then my mutual friend was like, hey, like this person also has a business, and then we met up for coffee, and they like send me resources when I need and really help me out. Like, it's so nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you know your horoscope and MBTI personality type?
Yeah, I'm a Capricorn, and so I haven't done the test in a while, and I've heard it changes, but I'm an INFP.
Oh, yeah, mediator.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm an ENFP now, because I thought I was an introvert, but I'm not.
Fight, flight, or freeze?
Flight.
Dream collaboration and why?
Oh my God, I don't know.
First thing that comes into your head.
No, I don't want to answer Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola?
I love Coca-Cola. I love Coke Zeros, but it was the first thing that came to my head, and I'm not going to change my answer.
Who would you love to see using Adamo?
I love Bella Hadid. I would love to see Bella Hadid.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or like Phoebe Bridges. I would die
Yes.
if Phoebe Bridges used my tote bag. I've been trying to stalk Dev Patel in Adelaide so I can give him one of my bags.
Yeah.
I have seen him 4 times. I've
Really?
frozen every time.
Oh.
And not said anything. I remember one time I was at Exchange, and like he came to I was sitting near the door, and he asked if like he could, like he was like, is the kitchen soap? And they're like, no, and they had to turn him away, and he started to like walk away, and I started following him, and my friend's like sit down, like where are you going? Because I don't know, I freeze around celebrities. I have no idea what I would say.
Yeah.
So like, even if I met Phoebe Bridges, like I don't know how I would give her my tote bag.
Just like.
Could chuck it on stage, like wrap it up.
Yeah. Maybe give me like a little bit of background on what you were doing before you started Adamo, and like how you kind of got to that point. Like, were you always interested in textiles? Is that something that you always envisioned for yourself?
Yes and no. I grew up being really interested in fashion. So in terms of like just my retail jobs, I worked at Born in August, which is like a small business, like fashion, so which is fashion
on Rundle
shop.
Street?
Yeah, on Rundle Street. And then I work at Levi's. So sort of like going, like I was in fashion for a bit, like always had my like little toe in it. But I definitely didn't envision it for myself. I always thought I would want to own a business, but not like make my own. Because I thought it was fun. Like, even as a kid, I was like, oh, this could be really cool.
So what has the reception of your product been like? Have you found the Adelaide community to be relatively supportive?
Yeah. People have been really, really supportive. it's like a completely different audience online as opposed to in person.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's partly my fault because for the online business, like just in general with how stock works, I have my suppliers overseas. So it took a while for the tote bags to like get here. So people were waiting for a while. So in that sense, I feel like I definitely could do better with like my online audience in terms of like meeting requirements. But in Adelaide, I sort of had like a small stock of tote bags. So it was
cool.
like, you know, people really liked it. And I stock it at a flat shop, and I sort of got to know, there's like a little fashion hub community in Adelaide, which I didn't really know about.
Cool.
Until a friend sort of got me into it more. And I sort of just started going in. And flat shop, I don't know if you've been, but it's like, it's off of Hindley, and they sell like archive designer fashion, and then some small businesses in Adelaide, but not a whole lot. But their whole ethos as well is like, you know, selling like one of a kind pieces and pieces that like last you a long time. So I sort of just started going in there a lot, and like stuff costs about like 200 to 700, but their whole thing is like, you know, you could buy like 1 million mini skirts, but there's like that one that it's like sort of like saving up and buying something that does cost a bit more, so you won't have to buy it again, like a forever item.
It's like timeless.
Exactly, like a forever item that's quality. So I started just going in there, and I'd like save up money and buy pieces that I like.
Nice.
And I started to get to know them. They're very chatty. They give you like sparkling water when you get there. They take a photo of you when you leave, but they're just very like, and then they post
maybe that
all
was
their
just
visitors.
you. Maybe they were just like,
No, it's actually really cool. They post like all of their visitors on their website. But that's like sort of the fashion community in Adelaide. But and then I sort of just messaged them and asked if they like wanted to sell my bags. I went in like ages ago, and they were like, we're not taking any on right now. Sort of met a lot of people through that, and then the reception's been really good. Cool. And they let me have like a launch party there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, which is really exciting. So I got to meet a lot of people. But I find that Adelaide is very supportive of small businesses and people trying, like, up and coming. I see that a lot in the music scene.
Yeah.
As well. Like, people definitely feel that support.
Yeah, that's really good. I feel like when it is all about like meeting the right people as well.
Yeah,
I feel like because
for sure.
like once you're like in the community, I feel like you're in, you know.
Yeah, people know about you. But yeah, there's so many like subsections of like the Adelaide community, which is like, you always think it's a really small hub, and then you always just meet more people, and you're like, oh, crazy. Yeah.
Run us through the process of making the product. So I'm assuming like you're doing a design, you're sending off. How does that all work?
So when I started it, I sort of literally just sketched it and I sent it to some suppliers. But I didn't realize that you had to like make a tech pack. So that was all like...
Tech pack?
Yeah, it's like it's just like a PDF, and you like sort of draw in detail and what you want, and reference photos and dimensions and fabric, like swatches that you like. And yeah, I sort of sent that over, and I got a few samples, and my suppliers overseas, and they sort of just like, bulk make them and send them over. But it takes like a month for them to process it and make it, and then like a month for travel time to get here. It's crazy. Yeah.
So is it just you doing like all of this business operations, or do you have like a team?
It's mainly just me, but I hate saying that because I feel like my friends help me a lot.
Right, yeah.
Like my roommate, both of my roommates helped me a lot with like the launch and packing.
Nice.
And yeah, so I always feel really bad when I say it's just me. It is just me, but like I wouldn't be able to do it without like the community around me, for sure. I would never be able to, especially I don't drive. So my friends drive. Yeah, it's not for me. Too scared.
No driving, no flying.
No flying, nothing.
No transport.
No transport. Yeah, my friends help me a lot. Whether that's like a lot of emotional support, crazy emotional support, and then like just like actually driving me places.
Yeah.
And all of that, because like for the launch party, Flat Shop, love them. but they have this like crazy staircase.
Right.
And we had to like lug all these like tote bags and wine bottles. And I could not have done that by myself. So, yeah. I had a lot
That's
of
so
help.
nice.
Yeah. But to answer your question about the supplier, you send them the tech pack, they send you a sample, and then you sort of like talk with them more, and then they just sort of send you like a bulk shipment of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what have you learnt about yourself and your creative process through your journey with Adamo?
Well, so something about myself is that like I used to put myself in really high stressful situations because I was like, I'm more productive because like the way that deadlines work. I was like, oh, I'll just wait like 2 days before it's due and then just do it because that's how I work.
Right.
You can't do that with a business, I found out. Like, you just can't, like, you can't, it's really bad. And I thought that like I was way more productive than I was because I would eventually get stuff done. And so I was like, oh, you know, I can do this. But it's like trying to sort of mediate that middle of
like the discipline.
The discipline. I'm not super disciplined. So I need to like find like a happy middle of you can work in stressful situations, you know that. But you need to also like learn how to work when you're like relaxed and calm.
Yeah.
Because like afterwards, like you just feel really burnt out. So
true.
I've learned that I can't work in like calm and stressful environments, and that's really bad.
Right. But we're growing. We're improving.
We're growing, for sure.
What's the meaning behind the name? Like, how'd you come up with it?
So yeah, I do English at uni, and we do a lot of Latin. So I sort of just like got into Latin a little bit. But Adamo means to conceive love, to be enamored, to be in love with in Latin.
Aww,
yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know, I think at the end of the day it's all about love. So I thought that was a cool name.
Cool. Yeah. If you could change one thing about the Adelaide creative scene or maybe implement something to improve it, like what would it be?
Probably diversity. I think I found it really hard to even believe that I could start a business because like there wasn't anyone either who looked like me or had like the same like shared life experiences.
Right.
Also just in general more women, I think. I found with like, yeah, having a business, it was like hard to find people or like know how to sort of get into the community. I'm still something I'm still like sort of working on is like I want to sort of break into the community, but having those like role models, like it's hard. Yeah. It's like as a kid, like not seeing yourself on TV or not seeing yourself like represented, like you just sort of write it off as something that you can't do. But it's like sometimes hard to go into spaces, especially I find in like the Adelaide music scene, there's not like a lot of people who look like me, but there's also like not a lot of women either. So that's something the Adelaide scene could definitely, I think any sort of scene could work on is like more diversity and like making space for that is like where we can start. But I find that like Adelaide in itself is very like, I don't know, it doesn't make space for things that like they're not familiar with.
Yeah, that's so accurate.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, I was doing an internship for this like marketing influencer agency kind of thing. And
cool.
like I was looking like at their lists of influencers and stuff, and it's all people who have been like established for a long time. They're like the wives of like radio hosts or something, and they're all white, like, and they all look the same, and it's just like, oh, like there's so much fresh talent, like in the, like we're surrounded by this like emerging like creative scene, but when you look at like the big media outlets, like they don't really like pick up on like what's going on here. They're all just like focus on like the same people that has been for years and years.
Yeah, and that's why like really small independent online mediums like, you know, Homebound and Friend Mag are like really good, and even like City Mag is like great for that.
Yeah.
It like actually knows what's going on in the community. But it's the same thing of like all of those mediums could still use more like diversity and inclusivity. But it's so hard because, like, when you are in that bubble and you have that community you're aware of, how do you, like, break out of it?
Yeah.
You know? And, like, with what you were saying about all those people being, like wives of radio hosts and all of that. And, like, it again boils down to, like, to pursue, like, an artistic career, you have to have that spare time. And, like, most people who do want to pursue that have to maybe, like, work a 9 to 5 or don't have all the time or, like, money to invest in themselves. And that's, like, a completely different can of worms.
So true. What would your advice be to a young person wanting to start their own brand?
You can do it. You can do anything. Like, it's not as hard as you think it is. Like, yeah, I think utilize all of the resources that you have online. Never be afraid to message someone and reach out. You're never an inconvenience. Take up space. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, take up as much space as you can. Like, you're not a bother ever.
Be annoying.
Be annoying.
Message people.
Think, like, I always say, like, actually one of my friends yesterday was, like, singing at this gig. And she was like, what if I fail? Like, what if I do this? And I said, failure is not real. And if we were in a group and I was like, think about the last time that you thought about someone failing. Like, it's not like an active thing you thought of. Like, when you're like, I'm about to embarrass myself. If it does happen, it happens for a second. And then people just, like, forget about it. Like, I can't think of anything that embarrassing that's happened to someone else right now. Because people are, like, in their own heads and in their own bubbles. And if you reach out, it's already a no if you haven't asked, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What were your biggest worries and self-doubts before you started your business? And then how did you, like, were these dispelled as you went along?
Imposter syndrome's a big one. You're like, I don't know. I still really struggle with it. That's something hasn't fully gone away. Yeah. I think just, like, trying to believe in yourself that you can do it is, like, something that it, like, you slowly chip away at it. But I had this huge fear that I would just fail in front of everyone. I was like, if I do, like, Adamo, I will have to, like, potentially post it on my, like, personal account and my friends will know about it. And then what if it's like this huge flop and people are like, didn't you have this thing ages ago? I was so afraid of that. Yeah. But yeah, that was my biggest fear, is, like, falling flat.
Yeah, I think about that with this as well, like, big time.
It's so scary, but it's like things can't really fail. Like, you can always take a break from them. Yeah. Like, if it gets too much, you just, like, can take, like, a year-long break and then come back to it.
And also, like, as long as you like it, like, as long as you're using your bag, like, it was worth it.
Exactly. And I do actually love my bag, and my friends love my bag. And at the end of the day, experience is experience. Even if I will stop Adamo in, like, a couple months or a year or like, tomorrow, I've learned so much that I can channel into something else. Like,
definitely.
No experience is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there are experiences that are bad. I say that and people get so annoyed. I'm not saying, like, all experiences are good, but I get, like, a, people just go, oh, no, like, there are some bad experiences, for sure. But I guess when you're talking about, like, careers and...
Especially creatively, like, you're always learning.
You're always learning. You just can't see failing as, like, a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
What's the future for your business? Like, do you think you'll stick with totes, or are you looking to, like, expand into other products?
Yeah, I'm working on a bum bag right now. Because outside of, like... at nighttime, I don't really wear my tote bag. Because I just have, like to have, like, a little bum bag. And I'm going to Europe, like I was telling you before. And, like, something with a zip. So, like, a new kind of tote bag that might have a zip for, like, carry-on was good. Because I took it on a flight, like, not too long ago. And I had to put it on overhead. And all my stuff fell out.
Oh, no.
Because it didn't have a zip. So, now I know.
Wow, so, you're identifying problems, you're coming up with solutions.
Exactly. Someone has to. But yeah, definitely a bum bag. And I have a lot of fun with... I did a shoot recently with Pistol Shrimp, which is...
I'm literally interviewing Maya for
this,
yeah.
Yeah, Maya and Scarlett. we recently did like a dinner party shoot for Adamo.
Cool.
So like I just want to keep doing like fun shoots. It was like, had nothing to do with a tote bag. It was just like a horny like dinner party.
Oh, okay, cute.
And I thought like, because like I don't think advertising should look like advertising.
Yeah.
Like it should be very
It
sneaky.
should be a vibe.
Yeah, it should just be like sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
So the future is definitely new bum bag, new different kind of tote bags, and like a new shoot with Scarlett. Hopefully, I haven't asked them. Now you know.
So
Yeah.
what will the life of Imara look like when you're completely qualified and unafraid?
Like my dream life.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have like an office somewhere, like a really nice team, and then have like a nice house or apartment. Maybe have a cat.
Cool.
Cat or dog. I have a house dog. That's me and it's like my roommate's, but it feels like my dog. His name's Parsley. So such a cutie. Hopefully Parsley's there. Maybe. He's kinda old.
Oh.
Hopefully Parsley's there and I have a cat. Even though he doesn't get along with cats. He'll have to learn. And yeah, hopefully a house with a nice view. Nice friends. Nice like yeah, I think it's just like for me, if I have nice friends and like something that I'm proud of, like that's just like my dream life. Always like enough money to be able to put in to other creative projects.
Yeah.
And collab with more creators and also like be comfortable enough to take a break.
Yeah.
I always want to have the option because there have been times with Adamo where I've been like, I need a break. But I've been like, no, I have to keep it going because it's like just in its like budding sort of period.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of be financially secure, especially in this rental crisis.
Yeah,
Not to bring that up.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
love
dream
that.
life.
Well, how can people support you and where can they buy a tote?
My website is adamoco.com.au and you can sort of buy it on Instagram as well.
Cool.
And a flat shop have it in store, so you can go there as well. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
No worries, anytime. This podcast was shot by Darcy Schaff with sound from Paddy Madden and was a Jessica Rowe creative production.